Ladies and gentlemen, just Sunstrider here, and welcome to, you guessed it, another Planetside 2 Thoughts on video. But fear not, this one isn't going to be another rant, right? It's actually going to be a genuine Thoughts on video and not just me repeating myself for like 20 minutes, alright? Because on August 20th, 2018, so literally a couple of days after posting this, well, a couple of days ago, in terms of recording this, Planetside 2, the Planetside 2 developers had another developer live stream. Now, I'm always curious and excited when the Planetside 2 developers do a live stream because you gotta know that there's something big planned when they have a full dedicated live stream for it. So obviously you have an idea that there's something big happening. But after rewatching through the archive, because I didn't have time to actually actually watch it live myself, so I just watched the archive, there's definitely no shortage of interesting content, at least to me. And before I go into the big thing, I'm gonna go over just a couple of little things. So if you ever watched my last dev live stream overview, which was like a couple of months ago, I'm just gonna kind of recap what they talked about and just say my own personal opinion, as many people have already done. I know there's a lot of other reaction videos out there, so might not be as exciting, right? But regardless, I want to do it, so I'm here doing it. But anyway, getting into things, the first thing they actually talked about is some performance changes that they are planning on making. Now, I've personally never had too much of an issue with performance, like even when it's like the prime times in Asia and a lot of the Asian players are on. And I've only ever experienced small issues with ping in the past. I've never really had any major problems. Sorry to anybody who does, but Jet Sunstrider just can't relate. But all in all, always trying to improve performance in such a vast game like this is always good to hear, but at the same time, sometimes you can't even feel the changes they're trying to do because they can only do so much in such a vast game like this. And, you know, sometimes you do feel it, but other times it's just like, oh, more promises of performance increases. Bah, they've been saying that since, like, the fucking game came out. So, you know, it's nothing really super excited about, you know. They pretty much just said it themselves that it's been an ongoing battle for a long time now. And I can, you know, and I believe them. But the big thing that kind of led from the performance increases is that there is a Tokyo server coming up. And there's been talk on the CIK Discord, hopefully you guys are okay with mentioning you, for those CIK members that actually watch, that some are in fact, you know, Asian, right? And they are kind of indifferent about the new server coming on. And even though the developers have talked about having like a little bit of a prime time to what do you call it, to transfer characters, I can understand if a lot of the Asian players just don't want to transfer servers because they've already spent so much time in Conroy. Maybe they built a little bit of a name for themselves. I know YLBT, which is a primarily Chinese fucking outfit. I know they have made a super big name for themselves, and I'd hate to see them go because they're, you know, actually very good at the game. You know, I kind of have the same feelings for them as I do for CIK. You know, they are a very strong outfit, and I'd hate to see them hop servers. So I don't know if they will, though. I haven't actually heard any news from them. But, you know, I'm kind of indifferent about the Tokyo server, considering that I'm not Asian myself. Of course, I won't be Of course, I won't be getting off Conroy. I assume some of the Asian community will probably make characters there. I'm not sure about totally transferring, though, because I'm a little bit skeptical because, like I said, people aren't going to want to abandon Conroy after putting so much time and effort into it. As well as, with that mindset, the Tokyo server has a very big chance of being dead in its early days, or maybe even its full lifespan. Only time will tell at that point, but I suspect that the Tokyo server will be kind of dead. You know, it's not saying that I suspect failure or anything, like not total failure at least, but just a rough beginnings for the Tokyo server, but, you know, any agents who are planning on transferring, you know, you will get better ping, you will get an overall better experience, but it might not be as heavily actioned. That's not a word, but it might not be as heavy action on Conroy, considering that Conroy's already populated. But I'm indifferent about it. You know, I don't really have any qualms with the Asian community, so they can do what they want. I really won't care. Moving on, the implant system is... No, wait, the implant system has already been updated. What's being updated? Squads! Yes, squads is being revamped. Fire teams are being allowed more control. And as I do have some squad/platoon leader experience from the Terran Murder Squad, I've never... That was like way before fire teams were even in the works, right? It wasn't even being talked about, I don't think. Either that or I just didn't hear about it a lot because it wasn't as big back then. You know, fire teams are actually a rather new and developing concept, if I remember correctly. So it's I don't know how good that's going to be. You know, I'd probably have to get opinions from like Beefy and Stroke and the other officers in CIK, considering that they do lead a lot, and I am interested in squad leading, but I'm kind of want to ease my way into it and not just jump right into it. So yeah, there's that. So, I mean, there's also been talks of like super amazing squad abilities like drone strikes and shit, but that's like way in the future, right? You know, that's for stuff way in the future. I mean, it sounds cool, don't get me wrong, it sounds fucking awesome, but it's probably going to be way later down the line. It's just been talked about during this live stream, so there you go. Speaking of being talked about just in this live stream, the big thing that's really been turning heads and raising eyebrows is a new continent. And even after recently watching the archive stream, I can't fucking remember how to pronounce it. Osher, I think? Osher? Maybe? I'm pretty sure I'm just going to call it Osher until somebody corrects me, but Osher is going to be a island continent, although technically speaking, all the continents on our axis are just giant islands because they're completely surrounded by water, and our axons can't swim nor have any intentions on getting swimming technology, according to the developers. Don't know why. You could easily make submarines, or even just fucking attack boats. But anyway, Oster's gonna be more like, I guess, kind of like a Hawaiian Islands kind of thing, just broken up bits of land stretched along the ocean, right? You get what I'm saying, and you get what I'm saying, of course, if you watch the actual live stream. But the thing is that it's going to be kind of different biomes stretched across the map instead of like straight tundra, straight desert, straight forest as the continents currently are. And the moment I think about that, I think Subnautica, and think the map of Subnautica, because if those of you who have ever watched or played the game, you will know that the map consists of giant biomes stretched across the planet. And it's just going to be kind of like that, but on a single continent. On land and not underwater, so, you know, just the concept is there, alright? I think of Subnautica when I think of the description of Osher. And, I mean, I'm interested in seeing what they do with it. A lot of the objects in the world, they did say was placeholders, so I'm interested in seeing what comes about it. But it was just kind of released in that live stream, so of course more and more information about it will be released in the future, maybe in another dev live stream, who knows, only time will tell. But the big thing about Osher is that they're trying to make it lore based, and I am all about it. I really do enjoy the Planetside 2 lore, and I think it does deserve more light than it gets already. Like, right now, the lore is just a fucking wiki page at this point, and the devs have been planning on making articles and all that stuff for it. But, like, for now, like, right now, as I'm recording this video, it's just a fucking wiki page. And for those of you who didn't know this yet or not, but I actually write stories as a kind of second hobby aside from YouTube, where I do fan stories based off of games I've played or play on my YouTube channel. So there's XCOM, Undertale, Planetside, Titanfall, and I'm thinking about starting a Sunstrider one based off of like Sunstrider Mask of Arcadis and Academy and Liberation Day. And I have Star Wars The Clone Wars based off of the TV show, because I actually do like the TV show more than the movies, unpopular opinion. And I post them online. I do post them to Devlin Art, and I know what you're thinking, not the most secure, safest, bestest site, but it's just where I've created my foothold, and it's where I'm probably going to stay. So I guess link to my DeviantArt page or Devlin Art, or the fuck you want to pronounce it, page is going to be in description below. You'll be able to find my Titanfall, my Planetside, and actually Undertale and XCOM have been crossed to form my own kind of personal alternate universe called Undercom. You could probably guess where the name comes from. But yeah, I'm pretty much, long story short, I'm a huge lore fan. I really do like that the devs are looking forward to delving into more of the lore. And apparently there's going to be some big ancient artifact or some sort of piece of technology in the middle of the continent, which is what's going to lead the three factions to there. Because, you know, in a never-ending war of attrition where rebirthing and instant vehicle fabrication is a thing, and now we have fucking orbital bombardments, you know, I guess the factions want to maybe gain some sort of technological advancement from it, or who knows, we'll see in the future. But all I know is that Osher Islands, lore-based, sign me up. Alright, obviously, you know, this new update, if and when it does come out, is probably going to be full of bugs, because we all know Planetside. Full of bugs, glitches, exploits, you name it. But again, it was just released during the live stream, so gotta take that into account. It is still in development and all that stuff, and more stuff will be, info will be available to us in the future, blah 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 blah, the usual game developer speech. And another interesting thing about Osher is that there will not be any warp gates on it. So I don't know how CIK ops are going to go. I could just imagine Beefy, alright everybody, let's say you as an umbrella, we deploy back to warp gate, and then somebody's like, we don't have warp gates, alright, regroup on the fucking fleet carrier. Oh god, getting galaxies up and running on Osher would be a pain in the ass too, because we'd have to like all spawn to the fleet carrier, or at least wait until the galaxies are pulled. And then the galaxies will have to land at a certain spot until we get things all going. Oh my goodness, that's going to be... That's going to be interesting. And of course, there's questions about the Bastion fleet carriers, and, you know, will they move around the map? How will we spawn them? How easy will them to be destroyed? Will they have turn emplacements? Can you board them with, like, a gal drop? How high in the air will they go? And blah, 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 blah. You know, all answers that we hope will be answered. Oh, I need to go to bed. It's like midnight. All questions that will hopefully be answered in due time. But that being said, you know, I'm excited for the new continent. I'm interested about the squad changes. Tokyo server, I'm kind of indifferent, and there've also been talks about new carbines, which they literally didn't say anything about them. It's just like, hey, we plan on making new carbines. No information on it yet, but hey, carbines, next. Expect it. So, you know, I mean, I'm excited for the big changes, indifferent about others. But of course, I have my Planetside 2 speculation in my head, going, this is all probably going to be full of bugs when it first reaches live, and some exploits are going to make it through the testing, and somebody will find something to be bitchy about it with the new content. As always, in Planetside 2. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching this kind of actual legit thoughts on video. Probably going to take a break from the thoughts on for now. I might have another one coming out after this one, but until then, I'm just going to stick to playing the game. So, thank you all for watching. See you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.